Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Chris and Barry Fieldhouse for the second game here in this season opening tournament. For the first game here of today's, or the first. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Chris and Barry Fieldhouse. Here I'm Robert Ambrose. I'm joined today by Blake Collins. This is the first game of our second day here of this outstanding season opening tournament here, hosted by the Jaguars. In our first game, we will have the Braves of UNC Pembroke taking on the Barton Bulldogs. Blake, both these teams came off impressive wins yesterday. The Bulldogs especially with a 89-46 victory over the Jaguars last night, and they looked good in just about every facet, and there was really nothing the young Jaguars team could have done to stop them yesterday. And the Braves pulled away late to win by 12, 56-44. With that said, just what an exciting game this should be today.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal start to the Conference Carolina Challenge yesterday, like you said, with both teams in the opener today pulling out the victories in both respected games yesterday. And it is going to be a raucous start here with the Braves edging out a victory over Southern Wesleyan, and then with the Jags faltering to Barton Bulldogs, who looked like a really good and a phenomenal team to start off this tournament. This should be a well of a basketball game. Look, like you said, cooking on all cylinders. Barton's defense was really good yesterday. They held the Jags in check in the first half to a 37% shooting first half yesterday. So, and that continued throughout the game in the second half. Now, the Braves tried to concoct a majority of threes yesterday in the opener against Southern Wesleyan. They were kind of on a faltering line with that, not hitting as much accuracy as they would have liked to from beyond the arc. So it is going to also be an adjustment period for them as well to see if they can kind of intermix threes and go in for twos and see if they can kind of get some simple chances at points, because you know with Barton and the way that their offense was clicking last night against the Jags defense, they're going to come out on all cylinders, fire on every asset, every facet, defense, offense, and transitional play when they get to it. So it is definitely going to be a really good matchup here in the opener today.
Yeah, and like I said, both these teams with big wins and looking to top that here this afternoon here at Chris and Barry Fieldhouse. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at other scores from around the conference yesterday and keep you updated also on the men's basketball game as well as the volleyball team who are playing in the quarterfinals of the conference tournament here this weekend right now. And we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back shortly on the Augusta University Athletics Network on YouTube. Welcome back here to Chris and Barry Fieldhouse as we're getting closer to the opening tip of the first game of day 2 of this weekend tournament. Let's take a look at other scores around the conference so far today. USC Aiken just getting underway against Lenoir-Rhyne at Johnson City, Tennessee. That's where that game is being taken place. And Leeds-McRae is up on North Georgia in the very early going. 5:20 to go in the opening quarter of that one. 8-6 is the score. Leeds-McRae is on top. And other games beginning at 2 o'clock. Georgia College takes on Anderson. And Georgia Southwestern takes on Lincoln Memorial University. UNC Pembroke taking on Barton right here at Chris and Berry Fieldhouse. And Lander taking on Carson Newman as well. That game will have a 3 o'clock tip and a 3:30 tip between Young Harris and Emmanuel, and another 4 o'clock games, of course, later today here at the Chris. The Jaguars will take on the Warriors of Southern Wesleyan, and Flagler hosting Limestone, and also just underway, Clayton State taking on Wingate. And to keep you updated on AU volleyball team and what is going on with them in the conference tournament, they are trailing in the first set of their quarterfinal match right now with Francis Marion 22-15, although it's early just to the first set, Blake. And also the men basketball team in their season opener yesterday, they were victorious over Mount Olive, a 77-73 victory yesterday. They led by as many as 17 and just were barely able to close out Mount Olive to win the first game after a season opening upset victory in an exhibition game, I should say, in Columbia against South Carolina, 77-72. And we're checking for a score right now as they're taking on Barton. As of right now, they are at halftime in Wilson, North Carolina, in their game in the 45-second Classic tournament. They are trailing at halftime 44-40. And with all that said, it's a busy day in AU athletics today and also around the conference, Blake. Just any thoughts to add about everything going on this weekend?
Well, with the tournament today, you're getting a chance to see teams that you wouldn't normally see in the Peach Belt Conference. Barton is really strong. Now, the men's basketball team has a good core around them with Dean Williams, Tyvez Monroe, and a couple of others leading that team, as we talked about, with a victory over South Carolina to open up, and then squeaking out a victory against Mount Olive. With that particular win, they move in. They are lossless on the season, so a great start for them. Now, as far as the tournament down in, or the quarterfinal down at Francis Marion, where the Jags are taking on the Francis Marion, that game is going to be a really fun game to keep tabs on, because you get every team's best effort in the playoffs. And Francis Marion was kind of in the middle to lower in the pack when the conference games were taking place. They have severely stepped up their game, and it's going to be a great game to watch. Now, with these two teams here, back to basketball, we saw how Barton played the Jags. They were intermixing everything up really well. I would look for the Braves, too, from UNC Pembroke to kind of see if they can penetrate more in two-point land and try to mix in a couple of 2s and 3s to try to throw this Barton defense that was so stout last night against a Jaguar team that's trying to find themselves. And the Jaguars are very young as well. You guys mentioned that there's not many seniors on the team last night, so they're still trying to find chemistry and find themselves. So with the Braves taking on Barton today, look for the Braves to kind of, like we talked about, penetrate, mix up 2s and 3s, and try to throw the Barton defense off their defensive stout and try to throw them into a cattywampus state, and then the Braves could do some damage. And if you're Barton, you want to try to expose any holes in the Braves defense that you can, like they did with the Jags last night.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great day of basketball and volleyball throughout the Peach Belt Conference and for Augusta University as well. The Jaguars getting set to take on Southern Wesleyan later today at 4 o'clock Eastern time. But before that, we get set for the Braves and the Bulldogs, both victorious yesterday, getting set to playing the first game here today, beginning at 2 here at Christenberry Fieldhouse. This will be a special presentation of the Augusta University Athletics Network on YouTube. We'll be back in less than a minute for the national anthem and starting lineups. Stay tuned. Welcome back here to Christenberry Fieldhouse as we're getting closer to tip-off. We are now set for the national anthem and starting lineups. And we welcome you back here to Christenberry Fieldhouse. We are underway here for the first game of today's doubleheader between the Braves and the Barton Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs missed the shot. Shanika Pederkin had a good look at it, but it just went in and out on the first possession. Here come the Braves with it.
Yeah, just a little bit light-handed on the shot there. Kind of went in front of the rim.
And a three is good by T. Graham, and the Braves take the early 3-0 lead. The first time this season that the Bulldogs have trailed. They led the entire way yesterday in an 89-46 victory over the Jaguars. Starting lineups here in this one for the Braves: Alicia Hardy, T. Graham, Melanie Horn, Aaliyah Farmer, and Sadeja Love. And for the Bulldogs, Dina Neal, Kiana Wynn, Shanika Pederkin, Summer Bear, and Carmen Richardson. We have a whistle, and I believe a foul was called. It's on the ground, and it's going to be Barton inbounding underneath. So the Bulldogs, last night they were the designated road team. They're the designated home team for this one in their home whites. An air ball on the shot attempt by Summer Bear. Here come the Braves down court. The Braves in their road black jerseys with gold numbers. And a three on the way. Air ball. And it goes out of bounds. It'll be Barton basketball. 8:45 remaining in the first quarter, so just a minute 15 in history books so far in this one. Barton still looking for their first points. They scored 89 of them last night. And they try to get it inside. Back out. A long two off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound. Back outside. They can just reset it here. And they drive in, and it's going to be stolen away by Sadeja Love. And down court come the Braves once again, leading 3-0 here. And on the handoff, T. Graham with it. Pass it over to Leah Farmer and gets it over. And a whistle, and is that a moving screen, Blake?
I think it might be, as a costly mistake by the Braves denies them points. Now, they are in the lead by 3, but we'll see how Barton plays this out. They have a chance basically out of free play to not get down any further than what they are. But that shot rim rattles out.
Braves setting up, they're hustling down court. They get it over quickly, and the shot off the glass and in by Melanie Horn, and it's 5-0 UNC Pembroke. And a whistle and an offensive foul. I believe Melanie Horn raised an elbow. That never ends well. And we're going to go the other way. Braves leading 5-0, look to really jump out early here. Sadeja Love up top gets it over. And a three for Horn is good, and it's 8-0. Bulldogs got off to a fast start yesterday. Before anybody knew it, they were up 12-2 on the Jaguars and ended up winning 89-46. Now they're down 8-0 here, a complete opposite so far. Free throw jumper is good by Kiana Wynn, who had a field day yesterday. Bulldogs are on the board, it's 8-2. T. Graham with it. Graham still up top, trying to get it inside. 8 on the shot clock. They do get it inside, but it's stolen away. Blake, the Bulldogs played outstanding defense on that possession, and they draw a foul here.
Yeah, critical foul right now to try to spring out the Bulldogs. The Braves making a couple of mistakes early here, but their defense has contained the Bulldogs' offense to this point, and it's going to be increasingly tough with that interior defense that the Braves have for the Bulldogs to even try to penetrate the interior and try to get back into this contest without trying to overdo it and trying to over-execute and only shoot threes.
Yesterday, the Braves forced the Warriors to have to do that, and it worked well for them. They won by 12. Turnaround jumper, too hard, and the rebound is saved, and it goes right back to the Bulldogs, and a long two from the corner is good. And it's 8-4, so 4 straight for the Bulldogs since falling behind 8-0. 5:39 left here in the opening quarter. A whistle and an offensive foul. Another moving screen, the second of this first quarter by the Braves. And fouls away from the ball are just not something you can tolerate.
Well, not only that, but it almost seems like they're trying to overexert and play too perfect at times and over-execute on offense. And it's getting them in a lot of crosshairs. And when you do that, when you leave too early or too late, especially on screens, that's where the calls will come in, and that hasn't cost the Braves as much as the Bulldogs would like because they haven't been able to execute on offense as much. But if they keep doing that in the future, then the Bulldogs might capitalize. So keep an eye on that as well.
Braves with it, spinning, going up off the glass, no good on the shot that time, and here come the Bulldogs with it. They're also racing down court hard, and a whistle. That's going to be a blocking foul, and it is called on Avery Locklear, who had just checked into the game for the Braves.
Well, Jamie Tham had the right idea of penetrating down low, driving into the hoop to try to go in for a layup, but then, as you mentioned, with the foul on the Braves, it is hard to keep your center of base with you, trying to keep up with the offensive attacker penetrating down low. And if you can't center your base and have firm ground and you're still moving when the contact happens, they're going to get you for a block every time.
And the first free throw is good, and it is now 8-5. 5 straight for the Bulldogs after 8 straight for the Braves. Start this one, we are exactly at the midway point here in quarter number 1. 1/8 of the way through this one. And the second free throw is good. It's 8-6. It's a game of runs. Literally. Here come the Bulldogs, or here come the Braves, I should say. Shot is up and good. That's by T. Graham, and it's 10-6.
Yeah, the Bulldogs tried to trap just at the start of when the Braves cross court, but they foiled that attempt and shot up with a quick 2. Very good strategy by the Braves.
3 is around the rim and good by Carmen Richardson, and it's 10-9. So a 9-2 run for the Braves, the Bulldogs.
You always send up a prayer when things like that happens. When it rim rattles like that, you want it to go in, but you're not sure, so you kind of will it to go in. That time, the Bulldogs capitalize and usher in their 9th point.
And on the other end, the shot is good. And it's 12-9. The score now approaching the 4-minute mark here in quarter number 1. Carmen Richardson with it, gets it over. And they lose it out of bounds. And it's going to be Braves basketball on the other side of this break with 3:54 to play here in the first quarter. The Braves lead the Bulldogs 12-9. We'll be back. Welcome back to Christenberry Fieldhouse. 3:54 to play in the opening quarter. The Braves lead the Bulldogs 12-9. And some early game leaders here in this one for the Braves. T. Graham with 7 points already. And for the Bulldogs, Carmen Richardson also with 7 points to lead the way for her Bulldogs as the Braves get the ball right off the timeout. And struggling to handle that one is Brianna Baham just into the game. A long three off the rim, no good. Rebound being battled for, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Avery Locklear and the Braves, and that's going to be Barton's basketball.
You had phenomenal form there on the three, just cut the arc a little bit short on the release point. Cost the Braves right there, and a huge opportunity now for Barton to deadlock this game with a three or inch closer with a two.
I'm sure they'll be happy to do either or, and they go for the three, and it's an air ball. And it goes directly out of bounds to the Braves.
She had traffic in her face as well with a very good defensive guarding Braves team. Didn't allow her an inch to breathe, so she had to overexert there, and she shot it over the rim, and much to the Bulldogs' dismay, it's a turnover.
And now here come the Bulldogs once again down court. Stolen away by the Braves, so back and forth exchanging turnovers. Up for the shot, no good, and a foul is drawn. So that's going to send Deja McCain to the free throw line for 2 shots. It's very early on, though. The Braves come in this game, they have very hot shooting, 5 of 8 from the field. And the Bulldogs so far, 3 of 10.
Yeah, McCain there with a very smart maneuver. Saw that the defender for Barton was over to her left, so what did she do? While she was jumping, she switched over to her right hand to get a clear shot and allow for the contact to be on her left shoulder, and thus she's at the line having the 2-point opportunity.
After missing the first free throw, the second one is good, so 1 for 2 on that trip to the line for McCain, and it's 13-9 Braves. They quickly get it down court to the Bulldogs. They're going to reset here. 2:45 to go first quarter. 3 on the way. No good. Offensive rebound. Back outside, another 3 attempt. That's no good, and the rebound comes down to the Braves.
The first time the Braves did a box out really well. Second time they did it even better. The second time, though, you had the taller center for Barton come in with Taylor and Cushenberry getting the secondary rebound, toppling over the Braves center. That's what orchestrated that rebound. But a good job of boxing out by the Braves to give them a second and third chance at rebounds to kill that offensive spread by Barton.
The Braves with it. And on the inbound underneath, they're going to kick it way outside. That's a little dangerous. Nonetheless, they're going to reset it with a fresh shot clock. Spinning, going up, blocked is the shot, and it goes out of bounds. And it'll be, once again, the Braves will inbound underneath, this time 24 seconds on the shot clock. So they're going to have Brianna Baham inbound it.
There wasn't much Deja McCain could do there except try to plant and fade away with that shot. She elected to go toe-to-toe straight up with Cushenberry, and Cushenberry got the better.
That is the 4th team foul on the ground by the Bulldogs. So now for the rest of this quarter, both teams will be in the double bonus. The Braves already with 5 team fouls, and the Bulldogs with 4. And we're looking at early foul trouble. Aaliyah Farmer on the Braves already has 2. She's the only player on either team with multiple fouls just in the first quarter. And another whistle and an offensive foul once again, the 3rd on the Braves, and we're going to go the other way.
Well, you had travel calls kill the Braves yesterday, and now with offensive fouls galore on the Braves, giving Barton second and third chances at life here, but Barton has failed to capitalize thus far. We'll see if the Braves deny them or if Barton can push through, pierce through the veil of the Braves defense and convert on these opportunities.
And it'll be Braves ball. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Both these teams, and it's showing again here today, but both these teams play remarkable defense, as in their victories yesterday, each team holding the opposition to under 50 points.
Well, not only that, but they've come up with a strategy as well as to play really good basketball, implement screens and picks at the right time to spring out different offensive plays. But we stated that defense is extremely good for both teams, and it is going to be a lockdown affair here in this first game today, with both these defenses cooking on all cylinders at the right time.
And that goes out of bounds. Braves ball. As I mentioned, how the Bulldogs are really struggling from the field today, completely contrast to the way they shot yesterday against the Jaguars, but the Braves defense held the Warriors to a low shooting percentage yesterday as well, so it's really a testament to that. Braves with the ball, 1:20 to go here in the opening quarter. A three on the way, around and out, no good. And now here come the Bulldogs with it. Pump fake, driving inside, kicking it back out to Neal. 15 on the shot clock. Gets it over to Wiggins. Wiggins kicks it back out to Roberson. Now they're going to drive inside with it. Kick it back out. Roberson, a three with 4 on the shot clock. No good. And both teams continue to struggle from beyond the arc in this one. And the Braves resetting on the other end. 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Graham with it. Braves taking all the time they want. To Deja McCain. Not sure if that was a three or a long two. Nonetheless, it's an air ball. Goes out of bounds with 22.8 seconds left. Barton ball, they can play for the final shot if they choose.
Just not enough drive in her legs to bolster that shot up toward the hoop. And now Barton has a second chance here to cut this lead even closer, as the Braves are only up by 4.
They set up here, 3 seconds, 2, driving, going up, shot, no good by Neal, but a good look. And the first quarter comes to an end with the Braves leading it 13-9 here at Christenberry Fieldhouse. We'll be back for the start of the second quarter after this break on the Augusta University Athletics Network on YouTube. We are back here, Chris, starting the second quarter. Basketball, kick it inside, spin, hook shot, no good. And here come the Bulldogs. So far, the Braves have led the entire game. They jumped up 8-0.
Well, it's incredibly tough to create space in traffic, even down low like that, because you've got so much tight space there that it's tough to spread out enough to create space to get the jump you want to convert on that shot attempt.
Long three. No good. Teams love to shoot threes, but they're just not going for either team. And that's, in addition to the really good defense, is why it's a low-scoring game so far. Braves with it as they get the offensive rebound. They're back up top, driving inside, going up for the shot. No good, but Bam is able to draw the foul, and she's going to go to the free throw line to shoot two.
That was all set up by a phenomenal screen and a pick there by Jillian Ebron, springing out Brianna Baham, and she darn near converted on that two. Now she's got an easier attempt at two with 2 free throws.
Well, she's going to have to make them both for that, and she makes the first, and it's 14-11. And looking at some of the first quarter stats, Blake, the Bulldogs 3 of 16 from the field in the first quarter, and the Braves were 5 of 12, and 2 of 6 beyond the arc. The Bulldogs 1 of 6 from beyond the arc in the first quarter.
That shows you just how stout and stringent both defenses are, with not many points scored in the first quarter.
And not allowing many points scored by the opposition in their games yesterday. As I mentioned, both teams held the opposition to under 50. And you know the Braves have a good defense if they score under 60 and still win.
Oh yeah, and let's put it this way, there were only 19 points scored in the first quarter.
Yes.
So at that point, you know both defenses are cracking down very well on the opposing offense, and it's going to be tough all game long to penetrate that and figure out a strategy to maneuver around that and try to secure points. It may be a long day for both teams at the free throw line at this point to try to bolster their scores up enough, because we've seen fouls on top of fouls in the first quarter and starting here off in the second quarter as well.
Bulldogs make their first free throw. Second free throw is around and in by Shakira Petterkin, and it's 15-13, and it's stolen on the inbound. Shot up, no good. Ball on the ground, and the Braves come up with it. A golden opportunity for the Bulldogs to tie the game after this stolen inbound. They're unable to convert, and on the other end, we have a traveling violation, and the ball goes back to the Bulldogs.
She had a perfect opportunity, but the Braves rose up to the occasion and said, "You are denied." 2 points on that opportunity for the Bulldogs. Man, oh man, we talk about the defense being stout as I'll get out. None more present in that exhibition of defense than what you just saw right there.
Driving inside, going up off the glass and in. As the shot is good by Carmen Richardson.
This tournament, Robert, helps the Braves severely, because they have a chance now to see how the Christenberry Field House Court plays, because remember, in this tournament, they're in the Peach Belt Conference, so they will make a second trip here in January to play the Jags. So this is definitely helping them out to see how this court plays and to develop strategies in that game to, when that time comes, to try to beat the Jags on that particular day. So this is definitely helping the Braves right here get a feel for how this court plays.
Absolutely. That game will be on January 16th at 5:30 start time here at the Chris. The Jaguars will also visit the Braves on the 13th of February, the eve of Valentine's Day, also a 5:30 start time. So those teams will meet each other twice this season, as will every conference opponent in the Peach Belt. Minimum of twice. There's also the Peach Belt Conference Tournament as well, which should be exciting. That'll be March 6th through 10th of 2019. We are tied at 15 here, 7:35 to go in half number 1. Richardson will set it up for the Bulldogs. She's got 9 points already here in this one. They go off the screen, and she's going to go directly inside and try to kick it out, and a whistle, and I believe that is a hand check foul call on the Braves. That's going to go on Brianna Baham. That's her first and the team's second here this quarter.
Yeah, Baham just getting a little bit too close for comfort there, and did not get as much to the ball she wanted, and it stays Bulldog basketball.
On the screen. And kicking it in. Spin around, off the glass and in, and the Bulldogs take their first lead of the game.
Two things, the form was excellent on the shot, then the body control on the spin, not dizzying her vision up for that shot was tremendous on the part of Barton there. Tremendous shot quality, and it pays off with a 2.
A 3 from the corner is no good. And the rebound comes down to Avery Locklear and the Braves. Here they come straight down court. She's going to take it herself and set up, get it over, and it's going to be stripped away on the drive attempt by Jillian Ebron, and a whistle. And was that a foul called?
I believe it was. She got a little bit too much of the hand instead of all ball that she wanted to, but it didn't occur when the shot was coming up, so it's kept in the possession of the Braves, but it's not a trip to the line as of yet because neither team is in the double bonus.
On the inbound underneath for the Braves, gets Locklear kicking it back outside. 6:23 to go. Both teams 3 fouls away from putting the opposition in that situation. Driving it over, kicking it over, and off the glass. That's good.
When you have a trap double team like that, that's when it bites because you go back and you leave a player open, but then that same player who picks it off to you goes back and then is open again. So then you have a closer shot with that player who assisted on the trap a little bit ago and then comes back and creates the 2 points off of that.
The Bulldogs lead 20-17 on a 3 from the corner by some error. The Braves were caught napping on the last possession, and a whistle and a pushing foul, a push-off on Akira Wiggins. So that's the third team foul on Wiggins in second. She's going to take a seat, and Alexa Robertson will check in. Gets it to Locklear. She shoots it right away. A long 2 is off the rim. And it's 20-19. Kicking it in, spinning, kicking it back out. Shot. Long 2, no good by Carl Richardson. Here come the Braves. A 3 on the way is good. The 3 by Alicia Hardy, and it's 22-20. Braves on top. They have the ball.
You want to talk about red dead laser vision. That was phenomenal vision, and then accompanying that with a pristine shot, the Braves secure 3 points.
And a whistle. That's a held ball as Locklear went up for it and got the ball completely without making contact, so no foul, and it's a held ball call. I believe the possession arrow goes to the Bulldogs, so it'll be their ball on the other side of this break with 4:46 to go in the first half. 22-20 Braves lead on the Augusta University Athletics Network on YouTube. We'll be back. Welcome back here to the Chris off the timeout. 4:46 to go in the first half. Barton ball underneath the basket. Dangerous pass, and they are able to recover, and now they can reset. 8 on the shot clock.
That may be a mistake, though, too, because once the offense reset, it allows the defense to reset as well.
And they lose the ball, and here come the Braves with it. So a disastrous possession off the timeout for the Bulldogs. Braves lead by 2 here in this one, and that's tipped around, and it's going to go out of bounds to the Bulldogs.
But you had a defensive stand by the Braves who got a couple of hands in to execute a steal, but then Barton on the defensive end does the same thing by getting a hand up and pushing the ball just enough for the ball to go out of bounds on the Braves half. So Barton recovers with the offensive possession now.
That's how you answer back on defense.
Absolutely.
Driving inside, kicking it back out, pump fake.
Absolutely.
Spinning, triple team, and the shot is still able to go in. Shanika Pederkin gets it to go, and we're tied at 22. She had 3 people guarding her underneath the basket and still got the shot up over them.
Well, Pederkin right there had tremendous height that helped her out with that almost 6'3", 6'4" frame right there. Helped her out tremendously on that shot, and she put it home and brought it home.
Long 2 is good by Melanie Horn. Here come the Bulldogs. 24-22, Braves up. 3:30 to go in the first half. Spinning, going up, shot no good, and here come the Braves, leading by 2. Back out, a 3, or was her foot on the line? It's a 2. Her foot was on the line, so it's 26-22. Reverse land, up, no good, and a foul is called.
It's extremely tough to be as accurate like that underneath the basketball, coming from leaning into inbounds when your body's stationed inbounds when it's looking like it's going out of bounds. So having to readjust like that is tremendously tough to keep ball control as well as the height to execute the shot. So even though she didn't connect on that particular play, she did get fouled, so she is at the line.
Shot is up and good. First of 2 free throws for Richardson. 26-22 Braves. They led, or 26-22 Braves leading the Bulldogs. Remember, the Braves went up 8-0 at the start. The Bulldogs have since battled their way back into this thing, and the second free throw is also good. So 26-23 is the score. A long 2 once again is no good. Here come the Bulldogs trailing 26-24, 2:40 to go. Chance to tie or take the lead. Up top, get it back inside, spinning around, back outside, and a long 3 is good for Alexa Robertson. And it is a 27-26 Bulldogs lead.
Somewhere along the starting 5, someone on the Braves failed an assignment because of transition. Nobody got back to the Barton College shooter on that, and she was wide open to convert on that 3.
And on the other end, we have a foul called. So free throws to come. Braves can tie or take the lead with these free throws. Or actually, no, it's a foul on the ground before the shot, as a matter of fact. So there will be no free throws after all. They get it in bounds. And right away, shot is good. And the Braves retake the lead.
The Braves concentrating everybody in the interior.
And unable to get it back outside, and the Braves take it right back away. Beautiful defense on their end, and good hustle back by the Bulldogs to knock that ball out of bounds, prevent the fast break. So the Braves will get the ball underneath. 1:50 to go here.
We saw a lot of people work. We saw a lot of players yesterday working the perimeter. In that case, when you see everybody concentrating in the interior like they were, work the perimeter, see if somebody steps out, then drive past him and convert on the 2 in that exchange.
Three from the corner, a long three, no good on the attempt by Roberson, but they get the offensive rebound and can reset. How huge is that? Inside, wide open, up the glass and in by Pederkin, and it's 29-28 Bulldogs. That was a blown assignment by the Braves, and the Bulldogs take full advantage of it.
Yeah, and Pederkin just snuck behind Deja there as her size didn't fool anybody. She was almost like invisible and snuck behind there to get the two.
And a long three is good. That is by Horn, and the Braves answer lead at 31-29, less than a minute to go. Inside again, a tough shot, air ball, no good. 48 seconds to go. Here come the Braves leading by two. Down court they go, 2-on-1, kicking it back outside, and they'll reset. Driving in, and shot is blocked, but they're going to call a foul.
The thing about that was Pederkin got the ball going up, but coming down, she chopped some of the arm, and that's where they're calling the foul.
And it's an offensive foul on the Braves. I guess going up for the shot, there was an elbow. And it's going to be Barton basketball, but we have a timeout called here in this one. The timeout, I believe it's taken by the Bulldogs. They trail by two with 36.7 seconds left. Now, Blake, if you're the Bulldogs, would you run the shot clock all the way down as much as you could to give the Braves the fewest amount of time left here? The Braves will most likely be able to play for the final shot if they can get the ball back afterwards.
With your defense being as good as it has been last night and today, and seeing as you're only down by two, I would trust your defense to make a stop and then get an extra opportunity. So with that being said, not just yet. I'd go for the two and at least tie it up, and then play the defensive game to either get a steal or on the next possession run out the clock. So at least try to tie it up and then go for what you were talking about.
So just get the first shot you can, basically.
Not necessarily get the first shot you can. Get the more accurate shot that you can out of the offensive possession, and then once you make that shot and you tie it up, then you can play run out the clock the scenario.
Here come the Bulldogs. We'll see what they do here now under 30 seconds to go. And a whistle. And a foul, a blocking foul called on the Braves. And it's already the double bonus, and that's a huge mistake foul by the Braves. So that puts Barton straight at the line.
Because remember, you're playing against a strong defense yourself. So you want to be able to tie it up and then play defense to make sure you go in to halftime not trailing, and that's what right now we're seeing with that foul and with Barton having the chance to do.
First free throw is good, 31-30. If they make this one, it'll be the Braves' opportunity to play for the final shot. 27.2 seconds left in the half. Second free throw is also good. We're tied at 31. Braves basketball. And they attack the full court press absolutely beautifully, and they can reset. 20 seconds to go. Barton in a man-to-man. 10 seconds left. Braves taking all the time in the world. 6 seconds to go. 5, 4. They get it over, and they never get a good look at a shot. And a foul called on the Bulldogs with 2.6 seconds left. And I believe the foul is going to be called on Summer Bear, and she can't believe the call. That's the 5th team foul, so that puts the Braves straight at the free throw line with 2.6 seconds left.
Summer had the right idea there, attempting the steal, being one step ahead of the ball, anticipating where the ball was going to be thrown, but just got a little bit too much hand going for the ball, and that's where the contact was, and it gives a chance for the Braves to pull up here with a lead.
First free throw, good, 32-31.
But
if they make this, the Bulldogs could still have a chance for one more shot.
And they have a timeout to boot too, so it could be half court if they get it over there and call a timeout.
They miss the shot. Rebound to the Bulldogs, and a heave shot is up at the buzzer. No good. And we've reached halftime. The Braves lead by one, 32-31, and Before we take a quick break for halftime, Blake, any quick final thoughts here on the first half?
The defense for both squads have been phenomenal. Both teams held each other in check to only 19 points in the first quarter. It sprung out a little bit in the second quarter, but you had a little bit of a change of strategy because the Braves last game concentrated more on perimeter defense. Now they're concentrating more on the interior defense here today. And then not only that, but the Bulldogs are coming in and really trying to get twos and then spring out with the occasional three. So it's really good offensive play, but strong defensive play keeps us a really close ball game heading into the second half.
It absolutely does, and we look forward to that second half, Blake. It's been an outstanding game so far, and I think we can also get an outstanding second half as well, which we will bring to you in just over 10 minutes from now. We will take a break and invite you to stay tuned for the second half after these messages on the Augusta University Athletics Network on YouTube. Welcome back to Christenberry Fieldhouse, getting set to start the second half here shortly. Here at halftime, the UNC Pembroke Braves lead the Barton Bulldogs 32-31. I'm Robert Ambrose with Blake Collins. Blake, it's been so far an outstanding game.
Absolutely. And the surging charge to that has been, believe it or not, the defense holding both teams to a very underscoring first half a little bit. I mean, you had 19 points in the first quarter and then 32 and 31 respectively here for both squads in the second period. So the defense has been cracking down. Look for the offense for both teams to kind of come up with different strategies to work their way through the defense and penetrate through and pierce through that defense for some points. But man, oh man, you want to talk about just phenomenal defense. This is a game for you. Now, both teams, especially the Braves, would like to kind of concentrate less on fouling, even though that they have not been extremely trying to foul. It's been more of crucial fouls and crucial situations, especially for the Bulldogs, especially in that last minute, that those type of mistakes you kind of want to see cleaned up a little bit.
Yes.
But overall, it was a really good half with a couple of fouls here and there that changed the perspective of the game, because the Bulldogs had a chance to capitalize on some of those second chance points, but they failed to do so, whether they were at the line or they had a second chance possession. Yeah,
and the first quarter was a lot more low scoring than the second, of course. It was 13-9 in favor of the Braves at the end of the first quarter, and the Barton Bulldogs scored 20 in the second quarter to the Braves 15. So the offense has got it going a little bit, despite really cold shooting from both sides, especially from beyond the arc, and that's where we stand now with it being 32-31. And for a little perspective there, the Bulldogs 10 of 27 in the first half, 3 of 10 from beyond the arc. Both teams, as a matter of fact, 3 of 10 from beyond the arc. The Bulldogs, though, have really used their free throws to stay in this game. They're a perfect 6 of 6. They were a perfect 6 of 6 in the first half of yesterday's game as well against the Jaguars. The Braves 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. And I think both teams will want to clean up the turnovers, each team with a double-digit number of turnovers in the first half. So they'll want to clean that up going into the second half. The Bulldogs with 8 points off the turnovers and 6 points off turnovers for the Bulldogs. Or for the Braves, I should say, as we are set to begin. And it'll be Braves basketball to start things over. The Braves with 4 players with multiple fouls and 3 players on the Bulldogs with multiple fouls. And it's been Carmen Richardson has been the star so far for the Bulldogs. 13 points in the first half, 14 points for Melanie Horn on the Braves in the first half. That one extra point is the difference in this game. So we're just underway here in the second half. Shot up off the glass and in. And it's 33-32. The Bulldogs take the lead right back here at the start of the second half. And a whistle, and we're going to go the other way. Back to the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs started the first and second half yesterday on an absolute tear, and the Jaguars just could not recover. They're hoping to start the second half here in this one in a similar fashion.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a minor trip there from the Braves, which constituted that possession reverting back to Barton College, but had a really good start for the Braves thus far.
And a shot is good, and it's 2 more for the Bulldogs, and it's 35-32. The 4-0 run to begin the second half in the opening minute of the second half for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are fighting with everything they have, and they have a cushion of a lead here. Let's see if their defense, as it's been so good, can up here.
Along 2, just beyond the charity stripe, is a short air ball. That was way short. It's gone out of bounds. And an early timeout taken by the Braves. They want to prevent any sort of run that the Bulldogs are thinking they want to get off to here at the start of the half.
And calm down the precision and the accuracy that the Bulldogs are displaying here in the early goings of the second half, excuse me. And then with that particular shot right there, she had to drive through her legs and the height. She just came up short on the release point in the archway for the Braves, but the Braves are being held to 32. That's a really good start for the Bulldogs defense.
It absolutely is. It's a fantastic defense. Held the Jaguars to 46 points yesterday. And Bulldogs, going into this game, they had a much quicker turnaround because they played in the second game yesterday where the Braves played in the first game, and then having to play at 2 o'clock this afternoon after a 7:30 start time last night. It's not a lot of time to celebrate a 43-point win to start the season.
No, especially coming up against a team like the Braves, who if they watched anything from the first game, Barton kind of knew that the defense of the Braves was going to be stout, and they would have to bring their whole entire arsenal with them to stand tall with the Braves, and that's what they're doing right here.
Yes, indeed. Here come the Bulldogs off the timeout, trying to extend their run. Braves scoreless so far in the first quarter of the second half. As that's all known as the third quarter. Here come the Braves down court. Still looking there for their first points. They can cut it to 1 or tie it with a 3. Spinning shot, air ball, but a whistle and a foul called. And it's going to be a hand check foul, and let's see if there's going to be free throws coming. It looks like there is going to be.
Yeah, that last little push and the last little stretch with the arm there for the Braves allowed for the contact to be made, and you can't play much better defense than what Barton did right there. Just an incoincidental foul that maybe cost them here.
Free throw is good. First points of the second half for the Braves. It's 35-33, 7:58 to go in the third quarter. This is the first game of our doubleheader. The Jaguars taking on the Warriors in the second game, beginning at approximately 4 o'clock Eastern time. We'll have all the action of that one right here on the Augusta University Athletics Network on YouTube. Blake will continue with color, and John Patrick will have the play-by-play call for the second game of our doubleheader here later this afternoon. 35-34, Bulldogs with the lead in the basketball. And it's being fought for, and it's still on the ground, and a held ball call, and the Bulldogs will have the possession, and the shot clock will reset.
The defense continues to be stout, but then you also had heart displayed right there with holding on to the ball for Barton. But man, oh man, they're trying to penetrate down low, but the Braves are steadily holding them off, and Barton may have to resort to try to work around the perimeter to have some defensive players step out for the Braves and then capitalize down low.
Shot is good, and it's 37-34. Bulldogs up. They've outscored the Braves 6-2 here in the early going of the second half. And they're going to dump it inside, and a travel call. It looked like there may have been a foul as Farmer was double teamed, but she traveled to try and escape it.
It looked like the contact and the travel came in at the same time, to your point there, but the travel call was called in a break for Barton.
Barton gets a break in the basketball back. Driving inside, spinning on the double team. Fadeaway jumper, no good.
That's extremely tough to keep your whereabouts about you, because not only are you spinning and you have to keep your eyes dead right on the basketball, but you also have to have good body control throughout the spin to come up with the shot.
And they kick it down court, and the shot is blocked. And here come the Braves.
A nice screen there to set off the play right there.
Long two, off the backboard, no good. Offensive rebound, and going up and drawing the foul, Alicia Hardy drawing the foul. She's going to shoot 2 for the Braves. 6:25 to go here in the third.
These are crucial 2 points for the Braves if they can convert, because now they can inch their way closer, only trailing by 1 here, and it becomes more stress then on Barton to play even stronger defense.
First free throw is good, so they get one of those 2 crucial points. So 37-35 is the score. Second free throw is also good, 1-point game. 37-36. Bulldogs with it, and yeah, like you said, it's going to be that much more crucial for defense. Okay, you're going to get it inside. Here's Boyd. Boyd with the shot, around and in. 39-36 Bulldogs.
Those rim rattling shots will have your heart palpitating. They're so emotionally drawn into which way. Will it go in? Will it stay out? Then you have to rebound, so the emotion's already there, but if it goes in, it's a huge sigh of relief, and now the Braves are fighting underneath for the 2.
And the shot is good, so the Braves get the basket. They cut the lead to 1, and we have an injured Bulldog down on the floor. We're checking to see who that is. And we'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back to update you shortly. Welcome back to the Chris, as the Bulldogs are tending to Xana Boyd, who is the injured player, over on the bench. She went up for it and came down awfully hard. And on the other end, the 3 is good. And the Braves up by 4, 42-38.
She came, hit her elbow, and as you know, Robert, when you hit the court hard, especially on your elbow with that ball right here,
ouch,
it can do some serious damage. So hopefully she is okay. She's back in the locker room now, being attended to. Hopefully we see her back in this game. If not, we wish her the best of luck, and we'll try to get an update as soon as we possibly can. But as of right now, it's Braves basketball.
Pump fake, long 2. Around and out, heartbreak shot, as I like to call it. And here come the Bulldogs, up by 4, a chance to really start to gradually put this game away, as they've been battling tooth and nail throughout. A 3 is good! What a shot by Alexa Roberson.
That's tremendous range, because she was 3 steps even beyond the 3-point arc at that point. So tremendous range, showing off very well for Barton College right there.
One-handed shot around and out. Another heartbreak shot for the Bulldogs, and that's really starting to hurt. Few shots that they've had lately not going in, and it's allowed the Bulldogs to go on a bit of a run here, up by 7.
Yeah, and with Roberson not only converting on that last 3-point, but then controlling the ball coming over into this side of the court, it's going to be hard to stop.
Layup is good. 47-38 Bulldogs. They're up by 9. This is their largest of the game. And it was, weren't they down not too long ago? Timeout taken by the Braves. They'll have 2 left with 4:02 to go. This will also be a media timeout on the Augusta University Athletics Network on YouTube. We'll be back. Welcome back here to the Chris. 47-38 Bulldogs with the lead. Braves with the basketball. Just under 4 to play here in the third quarter. They go up for the shot, lays up and in, and it's 47-40.
Good ball control, switching hands throughout that shot. The Braves capitalize and pull within 7.
Shot up and good on the other end. 49-40, back 9-point game.
That was tough because the jump on that shot from Kiana Wynn was just as tall as the defender defending her. So it was a tough shot, but she arched over and converted.
Drive inside, shot off the glass. No good, and the rebound goes down to Roberson, but she had her foot on the end line when the ball got into her hands, so that'll be Braves ball underneath.
Yeah, the baseline is a tricky line to deal with because it's almost like an out-of-bounds line in football. If you have at least one part of your shoe on the out of play, it is going to be out of bounds and a turnover.
Locklear blows the layup, but it is fouled, and we'll have a chance to earn him back at the free throw line. That is team foul number 4, I believe, on the Bulldogs. Locklear's first free throw is good. Locklear is a 5'7" senior from Landis, North Carolina. It's 49-41, Bulldogs with the lead. Second free throw is good, 49-42.
Tam retreats to the bench, and Peterkin for Barton College is re-ushered into the game. She is now controlling the inbound.
Spinning, shot off the glass, no good! And here come the Braves. Down court, hand off to Locklear. Locklear's gonna set up and throw it on over to Bayham. And she hands it off. And a free throw jumper, fadeaway free throw jumper is good by T. Graham.
Believe it or not, some players have more accuracy when they do fadeaway jumpers as opposed to jumping straight up. That time the fadeaway helped out the Braves, and they converted on the shot.
3 is good. by Robertson, and it's 52-44. What a shot that was. And how quick are they able to set that one up? Braves with it. Just over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Bam hands it off to Locklear, spinning, going inside, kicking it back out to Bayham. And a hand check foul is going to be called on the Bulldogs. That's their fourth team foul. So there'll be no free throws. And it'll be Roberson's second personal foul. They get it on out. Long free throw off the rim and in. That was a long two, I should say. 52-46 is the score.
Man, oh man, does she have a pretty arc on that shot? That was phenomenal for Aaliyah Farmer.
And a three on the other end is no good by Roberson. Here come the Braves. A minute 20 to go here in the third quarter. Locklear with it. Kicks it in, and a long two from the corner is good by Aaliyah Farmer.
Tall, long, and a gorgeous shot. Definitely helped her out there. She is finding the range, and she's also finding that arc, which if she can hit that on a regular occurrence, she will be unstoppable here, not only now, but as we move further on into this game.
Shot up and blocked, and a foul called. And we'll see who that's going to be on. 54.3 seconds to go. Shot clock will reset. And looks like there's going to be free throws coming for the Bulldogs. I believe Kiana Wynn will shoot two.
There were about 3 or 4 Braves buyers, so it'll be interesting to see who the foul is on. But regardless of that, the Bulldogs have the chance to extend this lead out even further.
First free throw is no good by Wynn. The foul is on Sadeja Love. That is her fourth personal foul. So foul trouble will be looming as we approach the fourth quarter here in this one.
And with only 54 seconds left to go, we're still not in the double bonus. So fouls have been really light this particular period.
The Braves will shoot two on every Bulldog foul from here on out in the last 50 seconds of the quarter. The Braves, however, only have 2 team fouls this quarter, so they have 2 more to give before the double bonus. They get it in. Driving inside, and a whistle and a travel violation on McCain, and we're going to go the other way. Bulldogs ball up 5 with 40.7 seconds left.
The same scenario. I thought for a second that the travel occurred once the contact was made by Peterkin, but the travel was called just before the contact was made, so a very crucial break there for Barton.
They get it in. Fadeaway spin jumper is good by Kiana Wynn. 55-48. Shot clock is dead. 18 seconds to play. Here come the Braves spinning, going inside, and back outside goes Graham. 11 seconds. 10 seconds left here in the third quarter. They get it over. A three. Air ball. And it's going to sail out of bounds. It'll be Barton basketball with 2 seconds left.
This is premier defense by both teams, but you see how Barton is so close up on the offense that it does not allow the Braves time to separate, breathe, and get the offense rolling.
And the third quarter comes to an end, Blake. The Bulldogs lead it 55-48. They score 24 points in the third quarter alone. We go to the fourth on the other side of this break on the Augusta University Athletics Network on YouTube. We're back at the Chris to start the third quarter, and it's amazing. This Bulldogs team has just gotten better as the game has gone on. They were held to just 9 points in the first quarter in what was a very low-scoring quarter. Scored 22 in the second and 24 in the third.
Yeah, the offense is definitely improved, but it's hard to believe that a stout defense could even improve as the game is going on. But that is what we are seeing as the Bulldogs are in total lockdown mode on the Braves offense, and it is paying off tremendously as they are ahead by 7.
Braves with the basketball trying to cut into the lead. That's it now. And they kick it back outside here. And a tough shot, two-shot, no good. A whistle and a foul call to push on the Braves, and it'll be Barton basketball.
Tremendous fight right there by Barton. As you saw right there, the second chance rebound comes into play with Kiana Wynn. She knew that she was going to get hit. She still held on to the ball, and it's Barton ball in control of the possession for at least 25 more seconds.
Kicking it in, up off the glass, no good, but a foul called, and we'll have free throws to come. So the free throws coming, I believe that's going to be Shanika Peterkin shooting free throws. She's 2 for 2 from the charity stripe here in this one so far. Braves trail 55-48, 9:22 to go in the quarter, and shot no good. She misses both on this particular attempt. And they go inside, kick it back out, shot up, that's a 3 if it goes, and it does. 55-51.
When you confuse the defense and have them sprawling out to sporadically recover and contest a shot, it leaves you tremendously open for a pristine, perfect open three-point that the Braves capitalize on.
Shot, air ball. And they get it over, a wide open look is no good. And that's gonna bring the ball into the hands of the Braves. They're going to set it back up, trying to cut back into the deficit. They trail by 4, trying to make it a one-score game here. Driving inside, shot up, and good, and it's 55-53.
And when it's money like that, when it's nothing but the bottom of the net, that is tremendous accuracy. She had great leap and great timing on her jump, then a strong follow-through. Well-deserved opportunity, well-deserved shot there for the Braves, and now they are right back in the thick of this ball game.
Absolutely, they kick it back outside. Roberson again for 3, no good. Rebound to the Braves. Here they come, once again a chance to tie or take the lead. How huge would that be? They go up and draw the foul. They were down by 7 going into this quarter, and they've been on a 5-0 run since, and they go to the free throw line with a chance to tie it.
When you have a fast break opportunity like that, just a small smattering of body contact, they will call you on it, and Alexa Roberson did everything she could to try to stop that, everything right, but just that small amount of contact from the body came back to bite her.
Shot is good, and it's a one-point game, 55-54. How would you answer to this if you're the Bulldogs, Blake? As they've really gradually chipped away at it the entire game and just went up by as many as 7.
Well, your defense is has been stout all game long. Now it's just back to square one. You're still basically in control of your own destiny at this point. So right now, is continue to play your offensive game and not be so stressed out and not overproduce and not miss on easy shots and just play your style of basketball.
Roberson with it. They're going to get it over. Now back to the corner. A 3 on the way is no good, but a whistle before the shot and a foul called. If this was before the shot, there will be no free throws. It would be a 3 free throw shooting if it was Ziaka shooting 3. It was not, so it'll be Barton ball inbounds underneath.
It was a bad thing that they didn't get the free throws, but they do get a fresh 30-second shot clock. So that's
Yes,
the
they
positive.
do. That absolutely
That's
is.
the positive that comes out of it.
There's no question there. Drive inside, up off the glass and in. 57-55, Bulldogs back on top.
3 missed assignments there by the Braves. You cannot concentrate that closely on the interior and leave the exterior open and the perimeter open to drive down and then collapse on the defenders and then try to defend from a lopsided base, and that's where Barton came back to bite the Braves in that instance.
Tied at 57. 3, no good. Rebound to the Bulldogs, shot is up and good, 59-57. And they hand it off to Locklear. Back outside to her, she drives in, goes up with 10 on the shot clock, it's blocked, a clean block, and here come the Bulldogs. Down court, 2-on-1, ahead, up with the shot, no good, battled around, and the Braves come up with it.
2 fast breaks there, one by the Braves here, one by Barton there, they couldn't come up with it.
0 points on either end, and a free throw jumper on the Braves end is good, and we're tied at 59, and a timeout taken with 6:07 to go. We'll take a timeout as well. We'll be back. We are back at the Chris. 6:07 to go in regulation of this one. This game is far from being decided. Tied at 59, Barton with the basketball.
Yeah, gridlock personified is the defenses that have been on lockdown mode, and now we're back to square one like it's 0-0.
Basically, yes. It's becoming a sprint to the finish line at this point. And here come the Braves off the missed shot.
The only difference between that is this sprint has the hurdles moving instead of being stationary with the defenses that are on the court.
Kick it outside, a 3 on the way from the corner is good, and the Braves take the lead, 62-59. They are on a 14-4 run since this quarter began.
You want laser lock eyes. She was dead set she was going to make that particular 3 points. Her eyes were focused. She was determined. She wasn't going to let a faulty release point stop her, and the Braves, for the not very often in the second half, have their lead.
They go in, and Neal throws the ball away, and it's going to be Braves ball with 5:08 to play. And here come the Bulldogs. Up by 3, trying to extend this lead and keep this fourth quarter run going. It's been quite the quarter so far. Barton had quite the second and third quarters. The Braves had quite the first and so far the fourth quarters. And a whistle and a foul on the ground. We're going to go the other way.
That negates a phenomenal pick there by the Braves, and I believe that was Deja McCain on the pick to spring that loose to the perimeter, but with that foul being called, it completely negates it.
Bulldogs basketball down by 3, trying to stop the bleeding a little bit here as we're in the fourth quarter, 4:30 to play in regulation of this one. Kick it outside. And a whistle and a foul called. It's a blocking foul. And it'll be double bonus time, as there was no active shooting, but nonetheless it'll be 2 free throws coming with 4:23 to play.
She had one side of her base set. She could not get the other side set stationary in time before the contact was made, and that's why Barton is at the line looking to spread this lead out to, catch back up in the Braves lead and try to trim this to 1.
And the first free throw is good. They're one step closer to Blake to doing exactly that. 62-60, one more free throw coming here. The Braves with 5 team fouls, so the Bulldogs will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. The Bulldogs only with 1 team foul this quarter, however, and that could play large, depending on how the last few minutes of this one play out. Second free throw is good. 62-61, full court press applied by the Bulldogs. And here come the Braves, and a traveling violation, a huge fundamental mistake by the Braves, and that gives it right back to the Bulldogs.
The worst thing about that is now the Bulldogs are at half court. They didn't cross over into Bulldog defensive territory, so now the Bulldogs want to run the full length of the court. Now they can set their offense at half court and then push forward.
And a whistle and a foul called, and the basket is good, and 1 for the Bulldogs. They have the lead and a chance to extend it. 63-62, Bulldogs up, 4:10 to play here. It's the second, it's the 6th team foul for the Braves, nonetheless, double bonus anyway, and an and 1 opportunity, and the 3-point play is completed as the free throw is good, and it's 64-62. Bulldogs back up. They're going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining. The Braves have 1 left. And we will take a timeout here as well on the Augusta University Athletics Network on YouTube. We'll be back. Welcome back off the timeout. It's the Braves with the basketball down by 2 all of a sudden with just over 4 to play, and this is quite the fourth quarter. One team goes up big, the other team comes back, goes up big, and now suddenly the Braves are down by 2 after taking the lead not too long ago, and now the Bulldogs with it down court. They go up, and Roberson draws the foul. Correction, that's Dina Neal going up and drawing the foul, and she's going to shoot free throws with the chance for the Bulldogs to go up by as many as 4.
Yeah, phenomenal ball movement, and then switching hands, creating the foul off the right hand, which was the hand that she was shooting with on that layup. So a good job at controlling that as she's at the line right now.
And the free throw is good. 65-62. The offenses have really got it going since the low-scoring first quarter here in this one.
It was 32-31 entering into the second half with the Braves ahead by 1.
Second free throw, also good, 66-62. 3:48 to play. Here come the Braves trying to cut back into the deficit now. Each possession, the complexion of the game has been so different lately. And mishandling it to get it back. And 5 on the shot clock. The Bulldogs got to hurry. They get it over, shot up off the glass and in just before the shot clock expired, 66-64.
That's what you call just in the nick of time, because I was thinking that wraparound pass was going to be all that 1 second needed, but they snuck that shot in and converted on the 2 to make this an even closer affair than what it was before that shot took place.
Shot up on the other end is good, 68-64, Bulldogs up.
If the Braves can keep this a manageable game out of the next possession, they'll be in good shape going down to the last 2 minutes of this game.
Whistle and a foul called. That's on the ground. That's only the second team foul for the Bulldogs, so it'll be an inbound play for the Braves. We'd like to update you. The AU men's team has lost to Barton today. A tough loss for them as they fall to 1-1 in the season, an 89-76 final up in Wilson, North Carolina. In their game today, they fall to 1-1 on the season as they'll return home on Wednesday, the 21st, to take on Benedict in their next game. Or actually, they'll travel to Payne College just down the road here in Augusta on the 17th of November next week, and then their next home game will be against Benedict on the 21st, and a shot is good. That's a 2, and the Bulldogs go back up by 6, 70-64, 2 minutes to play here in this one. Braves with the basketball. They're in desperate need of a score here. They need a 3 to make it a 1-score game.
They got to get past this vaunted defense of
Yes,
Barton
they do.
College.
Barton's not letting them get inside the perimeter.
And they're not picking and screening like they were in the first half. We could spring out a lot of the offensive plays for the Braves, but as you see right there, they may have just caught a break.
We'd also like to update you. The AU volleyball team has defeated Francis Marion, a 3-set sweep. And they will move on to the semifinals tonight at 6:30 p.m. this evening to take on Lander in the semis. If they can win that one, they will advance to the championship tomorrow. And what a season the volleyball team has had this year.
Absolutely right. They've the last time we saw them, they only had 2 to 3 losses on the season, and they continue to steamroll with that core leadership of
Absolutely.
Gonzalez, Govea, and Bolton at the helm. It's been a tremendous season.
70-65, Bulldogs with the lead. They have the ball. They can melt the clock. The Braves not fouling yet. I guess it's a little early to do that. You won't usually wait till the shot clock is off. Still a little bit of time. They do need a stop, however, do the Braves. This is crucial. They have a double team. And foul called. They draw the offensive foul. What a play. And we go the other way with 1:16 left.
When you're still sliding your feet to get set, that is when they will call it. And right there, the Braves could not set fast enough to take the charge. And a huge break for the Braves.
Another whistle and a foul called. That one's on the ground, but now that is the 5th team foul also for the Bulldogs, so now it's double bonus time for both teams for the rest of this way. 1:07 to go. First free throw is good, 70-66. If they make the second one, it'll be a 1-score game. Still probably too early to foul if you're the Braves on defense here, though. And the second free throw is also good, and it's 70-67. And now the Braves can just play back and play defense. They need a stop here, however. Bulldogs need a score to try and make it a 2-score game. We're under a minute to play here in this basketball game.
And to your point with what you were saying just a minute ago, the more pressurized shots right now are the free throw line shots because of the situation that it puts the free thrower in.
And it's stolen away and it goes out of bounds with 45.2 seconds left. It will be Barton basketball, 8 on the shot clock, and the Bulldogs will take a timeout to talk things over. Blake, what are they going to discuss here?
More than likely for The Braves is continuing the crackdown on defense like you saw in the first half. And for Barton, it's ball movement. Distribute the ball more, take more time off the clock. You're ahead by 3. Now the Braves will try to anticipate where the ball is going to go and maybe steal, and then go on a fast break opportunity and get it down to 1. And then after that, that's where they'll think about fouling. But those are just some of the things being discussed in different plays to counteract what the defense and the offenses will bring for both squads.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're the Bulldogs, you'll have to quickly draw something up to get a shot off. You need a score to make it a 2-score game. And if you're the Braves, do not foul. You want to get a stop and make sure if they get a shot off, make it a tough shot to make them really earn it. And do not foul at this point that you've spent all this time on defense, and put them at the free throw line when you don't have to, when it's still too early.
And it depends on how they inbound this. If they're going to spread out and spring out to a space
Neal
or
inbounds
shot.
it. She gets it right back. 5 on the shot clock, going to drive inside, and goes up and draws the foul. A bad foul by the Braves, and that's going to put Neal at the line to shoot 2.
A great move by Neal, though, to switch hands in the last split second. And the contact was made on the shooting arm as she was trying to wheel it up into a circus shot. So a very good decision there to create the contact.
And also a good move to draw the foul. 40.4 seconds left in this one. The first free throw is good. 71-67. And now once the Braves get it back, they'll try to get it. At this point, they'll have to get a quick basket. But then I think at this point, on their next defensive possession, they're going to have to start fouling.
Absolutely.
Second free throw is good. 72-67. Here come the Braves, under 40 seconds to go.
And you want to get as quick a shot off here as you can, but you want to have it clear. So if you take a couple extra seconds to get a clear shot.
3 is no good. They get the offensive rebound, though. They'll have to get another shot up quickly, and they do. And it's good, and that's a free, and it's a 2-point game, 24.5 to go. Timeout, Braves. And the Braves use their final timeout here with 24.5 to go, and they're going to talk about throwing up the foul. They definitely do have time to try to go for a steal with a full court press before fouling.
But now you're in a situation, as we mentioned before, now the Braves, if you're Barton College, you know fouls are coming. So how do you execute past that and break free of those fouls and execute cleanly to drain this clock even more?
Well, that's the key, is to make them drain the. If you're Barton, you want to make the Braves chase after you for the foul and drain the clock as much as you can.
And the thing about that is catch and release on passes. Quick ball movement will accelerate the time clock for Barton right here.
The Braves used their last timeout. Barton's still with 1. So if the Braves are able to get a stop, they will not be able to take a timeout and draw up a play offensively, since they just took their final timeout, although I'm sure that's one of the things they're discussing here for if they do get a stop.
Right, and to that point, Barton, if you're Barton right here, you want to constantly keep moving to generate that ball movement, to never stay stationary and keep that clock moving.
They get it in bounds, and they're fighting the press, and they foul Neal with 20.3 to go, and she's going to go to the free throw line. She'll have to make both to make it a 2-score game. If she makes 1 or 2, the Braves will have to get a 3 to tie it. Although if they get a quick 2, that wouldn't be so bad either. And if she misses both, the Braves could tie or take the lead.
And then it would depend on what Barton's defense gives the Braves on the next possession as to whether you'll see another foul or not.
First free throw is good, 73-70. And yes, that is absolutely true. And if the Bulldogs are making their free throws, the Braves will have to get threes to get closer. Second free throw. Also good, 74-70.
2-possession game right now, folks.
Here come the Braves. 15 seconds left, setting up, trying to get a shot off. And they're going to go straight inside, up off the glass, no good. And the Bulldogs get the rebound, and that goes down to Neal. She's fouled again with 8.9 seconds left, and she'll shoot free throws.
So with this, if both of them are clearly deposited into the net, then the lead will extend to 6, which means the Braves, Robert, will have to be able to deadlock this score, shoot with tremendous accuracy, and connect on consecutive threes.
And they'll have to do it really fast and no timeouts to draw something up. So they'll have to hustle down the court to get a good look. First free throw is good. Neal has absolutely delivered at the charity stripe in this one.
And for the Braves, the clock is tremendously against them because there's only 4 seconds left in the game.
8.9 seconds left.
Or, excuse me, I misread that. The 8 looked like a 4 from here.
76-70 as she made both free throws. Here they come down court. They're not even going to try to three. They're going to go for a quick 2. And it's 76-72 with 2.5 to go. And Barton will inbound. They'll run out the clock. And this one is over. The Bulldogs defeat the Braves 76-72 and go 2-0 in this weekend tournament. And the Braves fall to 1-1.
Tremendous defense from Barton College. We saw it last night against the Jags. They stepped up again today. That defense is going to be a stronghold for them continuing on in their regular season. The offense will come, but the Braves could not penetrate what was a stout defense with a very good defense of their own, but their offense could not generate enough firepower when it had to break free and gain victory. So Barton very well played throughout their tournament. The Braves gained victory yesterday, but they come back with the loss. So it's a learning experience for them, a very good learning tool to take with them throughout their rest of the season as they will make a second trip back here in January.
Final score here, once again, thank you, Blake. Final score, the Barton Bulldogs defeat the Braves of UNC Pembroke 76-72. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll give you updated on other scores from around the conference here today. Stay tuned. All right, 30 seconds. We'll come back at 24:15. And just keep thoughts short and sweet. Welcome back here to Christenberry Fieldhouse, and we're back to wrap things up. And we'll give you a quick update on what else has gone on around the league here today. North Georgia defeats Lees McRae 78-47. And in other games here today, later today, Limestone taking on Flagler at 4 o'clock and Southern Wesleyan taking on Augusta University. And that's next year on the Augusta University Athletics Network on YouTube. And before we wrap things up here, Blake, the final score here, Barton defeating UNC Pembroke 76-72. Do you have any additional final thoughts here?
Well, I mean, the Braves came in, played very crisply on defense. That's a stronghold for them. Barton College's defense was throughout very strong. That's their strong point going forward. Offense will creep back up and help them out. The Braves, again, dynamic in the first game, come up very short in a very strong contest in the second. Overall, a great 2 days of basketball, and we've got even one more to go.
Yes, we do. Yesterday was great. We're halfway through today's action in this doubleheader. As coming up next, the Jaguars, the host team of this weekend's tournament, getting set to take on the Warriors of Southern Wesleyan. The Jaguars fell 89-46 yesterday, and Southern Wesleyan fell 56-44. Both teams looking for a bounce back win and each to get their first win of the season nonetheless. So that's what's coming up next here on the Augusta University Athletics Network on YouTube, as should be a completion of a great weekend of basketball here in this one. Once again, the final score here for game one at the Chris: the Barton Bulldogs 76 and the UNC Pembroke Braves 72. Coming up next will be the Jaguars against the Warriors. And Blake, you'll have the call with John Patrick coming up next. Once again, Blake, I'm Robert Ambrose. This has been a special presentation of the Augusta University Athletics Network on YouTube. We invite you all to stay tuned for game two of our